Hey guys, it's me, Simon Comics, and today I'm back with a weekly series, and I did a test run of this on Wednesday, and the feedback was awesome, so I will be moving this series to every Saturday, and so let's just look at some original art. This week is all original art. So first up we have, and some really great pieces. Now these are all sold, so unfortunately you cannot bid on them if we could afford them. So first up we have Dick Sprague's Secrets of the Batcave illustration, original art. Gotham Graphics, 1995. So this was drawn in 1995. Batman and Robin, just really great stuff. Let's start up with the top without it's just so much to take in at once. We have the Batcave Batmobile driving in. We have Dinosaur and everything, the Batcopter Batmobile. Just really great. We have the Joker, Two-Face, a Penguin, Penny from 1947, an 8-ball, and just really great. You know, you could just zoom into all the details. And it was always, this art is very, very, very clean. And unfortunately, Dick Sprague passed away in 2000. So this was only 5 years before he passed. The Battlesphere, that's great. And we have a Joker, Riddler, Bill Finger Memorial Library. That was a sweet touch. Bill Finger, one of the creators of Batman. And we have Catwoman and Two-Face. Just really, really great. We often see this kind of, especially this large art with so many things going on, so many bright colors get dirtied up very easily. It's just very nice to see this. We have Batman and Alfred and Robin. Robin looks really small next to Batman. I'm not sure if that was, if he was supposed to be that small. I know he's a kid, but. So Batman with Robin, the Boy Wonder, and this sold for 50 grand in 2016. So this is his most expensive thing. Next up, we have Joe Simon and Jack Kirby Adventures That Fly, Come Into My Parlor, double splash pages, 16 and 17 original art from 1959, Archie Comics. So here we have, now, the double page spread, it was popular in comics. It wasn't standard, but with Simon and Kirby in the 50s, they really cemented it into comics, and it was a big feature. And later Mad made it famous and known to all. So now for the first time in comics, a wide angle scream, of course, classic Simon and Kirby would use that kind. Come Into My Parlor, said Spider Spry to the Fly. We had the Fly over here on the left with Spider Spry. Now, I will have a video coming out tomorrow talking about the origins, the true origins of Spider-Man before Marvel Spider-Man. And the Fly and this character have a big part to do with it. If you look, this character looks kind of like Spider-Man in a way with the stripes and everything. So, just really great with the spider web, and we have the people trying to flee. And here we have some great art. He's standing on the pole, and just really great. And this sold for 20 grand in 2012, 21 grand. And next up we have this Neil Adams and Nick Cordano Super DC Calendar, 1976, back cover illustration art, 1975. So if you look, this piece is actually a mashup. Now, if you don't know what that is, that means when an artist, he draws a bunch of things on different pieces of papers and just glues them all together. So, for example, this Batman, you see it's a mashup. You see his cape, the cutting around. So that's just a mashup. We had the Flash. The Flash is not a mashup, but all the other characters are. This DC thing in the back, you could see where it was cut out. So it's just very interesting to see these things. And this piece, again, just really nice. And this sold for 37 grand in 2018. So this was fairly recent. Next up, we have a Joe Shuster Superman Specialty Illustration, 1941, original art. Now, Joe Shuster is the co-creator of Superman, and him with Jerry Siegel created Superman in high school, and they had a very tough time getting Superman published, and when it was a huge hit, and they lost everything. They died poor. It's a very sad story, and only if you could see how much his art is going for now. He'd be so happy. So here we have Superman is in his iconic pose with his hands on his hips. The son of Krypton himself. A great shadowing below. We have nice inking. The cape looks very nice. You know, when you have a hero, you don't want his cape and everything just to be flat down. You like a little ruffle, you could say, in it. You don't want it to be like a piece of cardboard. But this was sold in 2012. It was signed by by both Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. That's great. The two creators of Superman. He did this piece for a baseball player. Just really, really great. 1941. This was a few years after. This was 2 years after. Well, yeah, about 3 years after Superman first launched, and it was a huge hit. Next, we have Jerry Robinson, original art for Batman number 13, 1942. A Joe Shuster piece. This one sold for 17 grand. Here we have a Jerry Robinson piece, really great. It says Bat number 13, 8. So I'm guessing that this was page 8. Let's just scroll down. We shall see. Probably says in the lower corner. And I do want to address this. It says, for Joe, you would have to remind me, Jerry Robinson, 1989. Now, whether he gave this piece to Joe Shuster or Joe Simon, I do not know. There are many Joes in comics. Joe Kubert, Joe Simon, Joe Shuster. It was a lot. So he wrote a note, Jerry note. So the editor wrote this down. Make this dummy in, I don't know, ACC appearances look like Robin. He is wearing Robin's costume. So use Robin's colors. And this Batman seems to be mashup. What they would do is they would draw the backgrounds and then they would just draw Batman on the side and just paste them in. And just really great art. It's really nice to see. And this is the Batman dummy that he was talking about. And he wanted him to make look like Robin while they were looking for him. So I'm not sure who that was for Joe. 1989, Joe was having the lawsuit against, I believe that was the time. I may be wrong, but I'm not sure. I knew Jerry Robinson and Joe Simon. They hung out together at the conventions at the end, but I'm not sure if they were communicating in '89 or if they had been actively communicating. Joe Shuster passed away in 1992, so the time frame does make sense for both these men. Who knows? Even Joe Kubert. I mean, we never know. So really great. This sold in 2002 for 6 grand. And last but not least, we have more Mexican inks and In Love #1 Marriage or a Love Affair. Page original art group. Mainline 1954. There's 2 items. Now this story was actually a 3-page. This sold for 150, which is so low. But we have In Love #1. This was a Simon and Kirby magazine. But I'm not sure if this story was by Simon and Kirby, but more Mexican art, more Mexican inks, sorry. And just really, really nice art, nice inks. For 150 for this original art from 1954, I think it's just a steal. Just the classic way they used to draw people. It's just really, really nice. And sold in 2012. So this was this week's Heritage Auctions look. A look at some original art. And like I said, this will be a weekly series every Saturday. So just your Saturday mornings, just come on and let's look at some original art. Start the day out well. And so thanks so much for watching. Leave a like and comment, subscribe. Tell me which piece was actually your favorite. I know this piece was actually quite nice, but I do very much like this Superman specialty illustration. So let me know your thoughts, what you guys think. And so you can watch some more videos right now.